Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video. So I'm done scrapbooking my wedding layouts. I think you'll still see one more layout on the 19th for Stretch the Sketch, but I'm officially done scrapbooking weddings. So you guys can look forward to a wedding album flip through at some point. Let me know if you want that to be alive. I could flip through it live, or I could just post it as a normal flip through so you can watch at your leisure. But I am moving on to post-wedding events. So this page is documenting, it's probably one of maybe 2 or 3 pages that I'll have, but me and my mom really like to go like garage sailing and stuff on the weekends, and this particular day there weren't a whole lot of garage sales. We went to eat at one of our favorite little lunch spots in downtown Ackworth, and we kind of stumbled onto the fact that there was this historic downtown home tour going on this day. And one of the little shops that we visited after we ate lunch gave us some free tickets. So that was really cool. One thing I really like when I hang out with my mom is that we kind of happen upon these weird things and are just kind of up for anything, and always turns out to be a fun little adventure. So this is documenting one of those days. I'm using another one of these papers that had that pre-printed floral cluster, but you can see on this page, instead of using it to create my cluster template, I decided just to ignore the cluster, cover it up, and sorry, my lights were flashing because I had a foster dog with me and he kept hitting the lights. So that's why that flashed really quick. But anyways, I decided to cover up the cluster and just use this really simplistic white text print as my background. And I'm going to use a lot of the 49 Market as my base cluster layers. And then I'll pull in some smaller bits from P13 and 49 Market to complete this. But I really just used a scrap of that floral to frame my photos, and everything else is just going to be embellishment. I'm really having fun this month. I feel like last month with my kit, I did a lot of like paper layers, but then my embellishment clusters weren't super clustery. This month I have so much embellishment to play with. I feel like I'm not using a lot of paper layers, but I'm really having fun with these clusters, which is arguably one of my favorite parts of scrapbooking, as long as I have the product I need to create the clusters. So this page was really fun. I'm basically plopping this collage of 4 photos in the lower left-hand corner and making 2 giant embellishment clusters. That's pretty much this process. So you can see how I'm starting to the right here with a couple circular bits and a scrap of lace. The parts that's covered by the photo I gutted, and now I'm adding those to the top cluster just so there's a little bit of mirroring. But this was a really fun day because the home tour, we got to go inside a bunch of the really historic homes in our area. One of which in this photo is our mayor's home. So it's really cool to meet him and his wife. His wife is actually a really good artist. So we also got to see her art space, and she was actually working on a painting, which is really cool to see. So I just wanted to document that. It was a really fun day where we got to see a lot of stuff in our area that we don't really get to explore. And these historic homes were a part of that. That was just really cool. There's also another page you'll see. We went into the old jail. I didn't even know we had an old jail in our downtown. Walk by it every time we're by there. I just had no idea. And apparently it was in a movie or something. I have to remember what movie the jail was in, but we got a picture of us in there too. But for this one, I'm just layering a couple of those blue florals, and I definitely want to get some more animals on here. There's so many little animals that come in the P13. I'm really trying hard to get them used up. So I have a little bunny in the lower right-hand corner, a little hedgehog in the upper left, and I'm just trying to layer up some florals and some other things to beef out the clusters a little bit. So getting the florals down. I'm not thinking too much about this. I'm really just looking at my ephemera and trying to see what works where, but this was a good opportunity to really use a lot of the bigger elements because this page is so predominantly these clusters. So I'm getting most of the florals down, and then I'll go in with some smaller things. I am popping the 2 animals up on some foam so they have some dimension. And then I do want to mention, this is the historic downtown home tour, and I do just want to mention the 2 houses that are in the photos. so I don't forget. So you'll see what I do for that in a little bit. I'm just trying to add some more clustery things down here. I'm realizing at this point I'm using a lot of the 49 in Market for layering, so I'm trying to think of some little things I can pull in from P13. So I will go in and add one of these banners down to that little ticket cluster, just so I can get another one of those used up. And then I really need to use some more stickers. So I'm really doing bad on using the circle stickers. Those are usually harder for me to use, but I have this whole sheet of word stickers, so I really wanted to make sure I got a couple of them used up on here. So, and that was another thing too. The back of the banner I wanted to use is pink. So far, it's the only pink thing I've added in my clusters. Everything else is kind of tan or blue. So there are pink word stickers on the sticker sheet that I'm thinking I can have in each cluster to kind of ground that pink element a little bit. But I'm just going through now and I'm gluing everything that I've placed so, pretty much back where I had it. I liked where it was. So I'm just trying to make sure I secure them in a similar position. So getting all the florals down. I think this is my last one. And then I'll get the hedgehog down. But yeah, this is a really cool day. I wanted to make sure I documented it. The house in the bottom right is the mayor's house, and the two photos of the interior are from that house. I took some photos of the other house's interior, but the mayor's house, he really kept to the style of the home, and it was really decorated. Like, it looked professionally staged in the era of the home, which was built in 1900. So I think that was really cool, and a part of why I took more pictures of the inside of his home. He had a lot of old artwork and furniture, and it just was really cool. It kind of felt like you stepped back in time a little bit, which was really fun. Me and my mom both really like that kind of historic stuff and, learning about the history of places. So it was really fun for us to kind of get a look into that in our hometown, because usually when we do this type of stuff, we're visiting somewhere else and trying to learn about the history. So it was fun to kind of learn about our own hometown in that way. I think both of my clusters, the main portions are done. I do want to go and add kind of some smaller bits. I'm going through some more of the ephemera bits. I just want some extra things. And there's a couple like little butterflies I think would be really cute. So I'm trying to fish through which ones I want to use. I end up going for these little ones, and I'm going to have one in each cluster. I really like that bigger butterfly too, but it ended up kind of just looking distracting, so I take it off. But I'm going to have one of those butterflies in each section, and I think that's a really sweet touch. And then I do want some kind of finishing touch, so I will go through my freckled fawn embellishment for that. I'm going to get the butterflies down. I really like how my clusters are looking, so I think I'm going to start, before I do my finishing touch, I think I'm going to start on my title. And I decided for my title, I would basically do my journaling as my title with my alphabet stamps. So I'm not actually going to use thickers or stickers for that. Oh, I do have to go back and add the word stickers. So now I'm going through the P13 word stickers. I'm trying to focus on the pink ones, so that the pink can be balanced, since I added that pink banner at the bottom. So I end up going with relaxing and adventure for down by the bunny, and then fun and with you up by the hedgehog, because I think all of those were appropriate for the day. A lot of them are more like for a page about me and Marcus. So since this was a day with me and my mom, I wanted to kind of pick the ones that were more appropriate. So I like all of those. I am going to ink all of them and poke all of them up on some foam, so they have a little pop as well. So both the animals have foam, and then all the word stickers have foam, and I like that. So I'm just going to get the foam dots down. I stick these down, and then I realized I really wanted to do the thread bundles again, and I thought behind the word stickers would be a really good spot for the thread bundles. So you will see me pull those back up to add the thread. I think with all of these die cuts, I was kind of missing that fiddly, smaller detail of the thread. So I like how it looks once I add it. I'm just getting the foam back on these other two and inking them. But before I stick them down, I will realize that I want to do the thread. So you'll see me pull that in a little bit. And I like that adds a little bit more white to my clusters. These clusters are very brown and blue, so I think having the white thread kind of pulls that freshness in from the background. So I'm just going to do messy bundle, and I'm going to secure the bundle with the adhesive from the word stickers. And then I'll just do the same down by this bunny. I just have to pull them up without tearing them, which actually worked out okay. I was relieved. But now that that's down, I'm going to ink the outside, and then I will go in with my stamps. I forgot where I got these stamps. I got them from Tuesday Mornings, but I forgot what brand they were. But I don't use them enough. And I think with having this open upper right-hand corner, I thought it was a good area to be able to do this type of thing. I thought about doing a lot more. I thought about maybe listing every stop that we went to on this page, but then I thought it might be confusing having all these locations listed and then not knowing which ones go to these houses. So I decided to just list the 2 houses that were on this page. And then I'm just going to have to remember to do journaling or something on the other pages to document which locations those were. Because this is only documenting 2 of the stops on the tour. So I dragged out, I have this little pamphlet next to me, which served as our ticket, and it had all the houses and all the information of the houses. So I wanted to make sure I used that to label the houses correctly. It just takes me a minute to get all my letters situated. And then I'll start stamping. I don't think I make you watch all of this, but I basically just start. I want the title to be Ackworth Historic Downtown Home Tour. So I'm starting from the corner and spelling backwards, and hopefully I spelled everything correctly. But just inking from that corner into the page. And that was going to just be my title, and I thought about doing journaling about the rest of it, but I really like the size and the look of these stamps, so I decided just to continue stamping to get the names of these locations down. So I'm hoping I can do journaling more on some of the other pages that aren't so photo heavy with more of what I told you guys about today. But for this one, I have 4 photos and 2 giant embellishment clusters, so I didn't want to do too much. I still wanted to keep the upper right-hand corner pretty open. So other than the stamping, I wanted it to be pretty plain. So I'm just going through and getting all of these done. I think we're going to skip to where all the words are done. Okay, and then this is where I have my embellishment. So I pull in some freckled fawn stuff. I really like these kind of peachy toned enamel dots. I like that it kind of went along that vein of all the neutral elements, but I did want to include these blue puffy hearts because I think that complements the blue really well in this collection. So I'm just adding 3 puffy hearts to each cluster, and then the rest of those tan enamel dots. And then this is where I think I'm done, and then I realize I need to put the locations on here. So I go back to stamping with the alphabet stamps, and then that's pretty much it after that. And there we go. I didn't want to make you watch me drag all those stamps out again and do that all over, but there's the 2 house locations, and then close-ups are here in a minute. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.